After years apart, my sister came back with a twist. Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. My sister disappears for 7 years, then knocks like she still lives here. It is 2:13 a.m. and I am standing in my socks on the peel-and-stick tiles of my Cleveland apartment, staring through the peephole like it might bite me. The hallway light flickers. Someone shifts on the other side, an impatient scuff, and my chest does that thing, tighten, then harden. I open the door. Mara, my voice comes out cracked, like I have been yelling, even though I have not spoken to her name in years. She stands there with a shell suitcase, a canvas tote, and a bruise blooming purple under one eye. Her hair is shorter, darker, and damp from the cold. She tries to smile like she is late to Thanksgiving. "Hey, Drew," she says, like we text daily. "You look same." I should slam the door. I should demand an explanation. Instead, I notice the way her left hand shakes on the suitcase handle, and the way she keeps glancing behind her, like my hallway is a street corner. I am a paramedic. I spend my nights running toward other people's chaos. Then I come home to a quiet life I can control. I do not let my family into it. That has been the deal since Mara left, and Mom told me, through clenched teeth, we don't talk about Victor. Ever. But Mara is here, and she smells like antiseptic and old cigarette smoke. "What happened to your face?" I ask. She lifts a finger to the bruise, winces, and laughs too fast. "Door. I'm clumsy, you know." That is the first lie. I can taste it. She pushes past me before I can decide, setting her suitcase by my couch like she owns it. Her eyes sweep my apartment, my second-hand recliner, my uniform jacket on the chair, the framed EMT graduation photo Aunt June insisted I hang. "Still saving strangers," she says softly. "Guess that worked out." "What do you want, Mara?" I try to keep it flat. My hands are fists in my hoodie pocket. Her smile drops. She digs into the tote and pulls out a manila envelope, edges bent, a red stamp screaming across the front. "Filed." "I need you to help me," she whispers, and her voice is the first honest thing in the room. "Before Victor finds out I came back." Then she slides the envelope toward me, and I see Mom's name typed beside a case number. The court seal is dated tomorrow, and Victor's name is on it. Seeing Mara in my apartment drags me backward to the last night I see her. I am 22, still at Mom's place in the suburbs because EMT school is cheap, but life isn't. Mom is dating Victor then, not married yet, and he already acts like he owns the walls. He wears pressed shirts on weekends. He calls me Andy when he wants to sound kind and Andrew when he wants to sound lesser. Mara and I grow up under the same roof, but in different climates. I am the kid who keeps grades up and mouth shut. Mara is Spark, loud laughs, slammed doors, eyeliner at noon. When Dad dies of a heart attack, she takes it like a wound that never scabs. When Victor moves and 6 months later, she takes it like a second funeral. The rule begins at the dinner table. Victor says, "Your father didn't leave much, but I'll teach you how money works." Mara's fork stops. Mom's smile tightens. I stare at my plate like it can hide me. Mara says, "Don't talk about him like that." Victor chuckles. "Like what? Like reality?" After that, every fight has the same gravity. Victor rewriting our story, Mom smoothing it over, me shrinking, Mara refusing. The night she leaves, I am washing dishes while Victor lectures me about my little ambulance job. "Real men build," he says. "They don't just patch up the mess." Mara storms in from the hallway clutching a folder. "Stop talking to him like that." Victor's gaze locks on the folder. "What's that?" "None of your business," she snaps, and for the first time I see fear under her anger. Victor stands. "In my house, everything is my business." Mom appears, pale. "Mara, give it to me." Mara hugs the folder to her chest like a life jacket. "Mom, he can't." Victor steps close, voice low and polite. "Hand it over, or pack your things." Mara looks at me then, begging without words, and I do what I always do. I stay quiet. She walks out 10 minutes later with a backpack and that folder, and Mom's only words are, "We don't talk about Victor again." Now, 7 years later, Mara sits on my couch, and I finally understand why. The bruise on her cheek matches the shape of Victor's signet ring. Mara keeps her coat on like she is afraid I'll ask her to leave. I grab my first aid kit because it gives my hands a job. "Sit," I tell her. She drops onto the couch, suitcase still upright like a guard dog. Under the light, the bruise is uglier. There's a scrape along her jaw. I hover my fingers. Can I? Yeah. Her voice goes small. As I dab antiseptic, she stares at my blank TV. So you really became a paramedic? Yeah. I keep it neutral. She tries a joke, but it dies in her mouth. When I say Victor's name, she flinches like I touch a burn. That's new. Mara used to spit his name, not swallow it. I didn't come here to fight, she says. I came because I don't have anyone else. You had 7 years to decide that, I say, and regret it immediately. Her gaze drops to her wrist. A hospital band still clings there, St. Agnes Medical Center. Mara Ellis. Then a second line, alias, M. Vale. What's the alias? I ask. She yanks her sleeve down. Nothing. Just don't. Hospitals don't add aliases for fun. She shoves the manila envelope at me. Read it. Inside is a copy of a county probate filing. The title makes my stomach twist. Petition TO appoint guardian of Diane Hawthorne. Mom's name. Mom's not helpless. She's stubborn as nails. The petitioner is typed in all caps. Victor Hawthorne. He can't do that. I say. He can, Mara whispers. He's been setting it up. Why? Because he says she's confused. Her laugh is thin. And because there's money. I flip pages. Exhibit A is a physician statement dated yesterday from a clinic I've never heard of, with a signature that looks like a rushed lie. Mara, I say, how did you get this? She swallows. I took it from his office. And he let you walk out? Her eyes shine. He didn't. He hit me when I tried. Heat flashes behind my ribs. Why would you risk that? Mara stares at my hands, like she can't meet my face. Because Mom isn't the real target. My throat goes tight. Then who is? She opens her tote and pulls out a small brass key taped to a bank deposit slip, shaking so hard the tape crackles. The slip shows an account number, and the name isn't Mara's or Mom's. I ask Mara for the deposit slip, and she hesitates like I'm asking for a confession. It's just paperwork, she says. Whose name is it? I keep my voice low, because loud makes her shut down. She turns the slip around. The printed name is Margaret Vale, the same alias on her hospital wristband. A person who does not exist in my life. That's you. I say. It's not. She stops, restarts. It's complicated. Everything with you is complicated. I mutter, then regret it when her shoulders flinch. She gives me a version of the truth. Victor reached out after she left. He offered money if she stayed away because Mom couldn't handle the stress. Mara took it because she was furious, broke, and too proud to crawl back. She signed papers under the name Margaret Vale because Victor said it was family business. She didn't ask questions because questions cost things. And now? I ask. Now he stopped paying, she says, and her smile is a cracked mirror. It almost fits until she slips a date like a knife. It's been 6 months since the last transfer, she says. 6 months, not 7 years. I stare at her. Transfers? She blinks, caught. Just support. You didn't disappear, I say. You were being funded. Her jaw works. I didn't have a choice. Everybody has a choice. I snap, then hear Victor in my own tone and feel sick. Mara digs into her tote. Too fast, like she's hunting for a distraction. A cheap black phone slides out. No case, no lock screen, the kind you buy with cash. I don't even use it, she says immediately. I pick it up anyway. The screen wakes to one missed call. No contact name, just a number. Timestamp, 2:09 a.m. For minutes before she knocks on my door. The number is burned into my memory, Victor's office line from old voicemail. My stomach drops. I feel 12 again. Mara, I say, holding the phone between us. Who called you? Her lips part. Close. Her eyes go shiny. It was Victor, she whispers, and he told me you'd open the door. I should call the police. I should shove Mara back into the hallway and pretend this never happens. Instead, I call Mom. It's 2:31 a.m. Diane answers on the second ring, too awake. Andrew. That one word tells me she's been waiting. Mara's here, I say. Silence. Then a sharp inhale. Is she safe? She has a bruise and a court filing with your name, I say. So no. Mom's voice drops. Tell her to leave. Mara isn't safe, I say. And neither are you. Why is Victor filing for guardianship? Mom flinches even through the phone. Don't say his name. Mom, you don't understand how he works, she whispers, and it isn't drama. It's fear with practice. If you start pulling threads, he'll take everything. Everything like what? I ask. The house. Your accounts? Your life? She doesn't answer, which is an answer. Mara snatches the phone from my hand and speaks into it. Mom, did you know he was paying me? Mom gasps like she's been punched. Paying you? Mara's face hardens. So you didn't know? Great. I take the phone back. Mom, I'm coming over in the morning. No. The word is too sharp. Then softer, pleading, please. Don't come. Don't dig. Just stop. I look at the petition on my coffee table, Victor's name bold, like he's already won. I can't. Mom's voice trembles. Then at least don't talk to your aunt. My stomach sinks. Aunt June. A beat. Then Mom says, too carefully, June will only make it worse. When I hang up, Mara is pacing my apartment like a caged animal. She knows, Mara says. She always knew something. I grab my keys. Then we go to the one person Victor never managed to scare. Mara stops. Aunt June. I nod. Now. My hands shake on the keys. Outside, the parking lot is glazed with mid-January ice, my breath white in the dark. Mara follows close, suitcase wheels rattling like teeth. In the car, she keeps checking the mirrors, whispering, he's faster than you think. And for the first time, I believe her. No music plays. Mara's burner phone lights up, and the caller ID shows, Victor. Aunt June opens her door in slippers and a Steelers hoodie like it's noon, not nearly 3. She takes one look at Mara's bruise and steps aside. Inside. Now. June sits Mara on the couch and tilts her chin. He did this. Mara shrugs like it's weather. I shouldn't have gone into his office. June's mouth tightens. You shouldn't have been kept away at all. I turn. Kept away. June points at her kitchen table. Sit down, Andrew. I land in a chair. June scans the guardianship petition once and snorts. Guardianship. Classic control move. Why would he need that? I ask. June reaches above the fridge and drops a shoebox onto the table, heavy enough to thud. Because he's running out of room to hide things. Inside are folders and printouts, bank envelopes with Victor's return address, a thumb drive sealed in a plastic bag, and one sheet she slides to me first. It's a transfer confirmation. Amount, for $1,500. Date, September 18th, 2024. From Hawthorne Holdings Operating. To M. Vale. Memo, consulting. My throat goes dry. That's her alias. I suspected, June says. I got proof last year from someone who finally grew a conscience. She taps the thumb drive. Victor's old assistant mailed me that and said, if anything happens to me, don't let him win. I didn't plug it in, but she printed the part that matters. June opens another folder and slides out a photocopy that feels like a punch, my father's will. I stare. Dad had a will. Yep, June says. And it didn't look like this. She points to the bottom. The witness names. One is Victor Hawthorne. The other is Dr. Samuel Keene, the same name stamped on the physician statement attached to Mom's guardianship petition. My fingertips tingle. That's not a coincidence. It's a pattern, June says. And he's escalating. Mara whispers. He told me it was family business. June leans in. He's filing for control of your mother tomorrow because he thinks nobody will connect the dots. I look at the matching doctor name, the payments, the forged-looking signature, and feel something cold settle in my chest. We find the original will, and Victor finally runs out of hiding places. By 8:07 a.m. I'm in the county courthouse with bitter coffee and no sleep. June comes with me. Mara stays in my car, hood up, watching the doors like she expects Victor to walk out of the walls. At the probate clerk window, I keep my voice polite. I'm looking for a will filed under Robert Ellis. Died May 12, 2018. The clerk types, frowns, and says, no will on file. June's hand tightens on her purse strap. There was. The clerk shrugs. Not here. Any probate case? I ask. She types again, then reads from the screen. Case open June 4th, 2018. Petitioner, Diane Hawthorne. My mouth goes dry. Mom doesn't take Victor's last name until years later. June leans closer. Print the docket summary. The clerk hesitates, then slides one page through the slot like she's doing us a favor. The docket is short, too short, and one entry punches me in the gut. Asset distribution order, sealed. Sealed means someone asked the court to hide the details. People do that for kids, for safety, Or for money? June taps the line. That's why he's rushing guardianship. He's scared. Scared of what? I ask, but the answer is sitting on the paper. In the parking lot, Mara leans out my passenger window. Did you find anything? I hand her the docket. Her eyes race over it and stop on the date, June 4th, 2018. Color drains from her face. That's the day he picked me up from school. My stomach drops. Victor picked you up? Mara nods once, small. He said Mom asked him to. He drove me to a bank. He made me sign something. I didn't even read it. June's voice turns quiet and razor-sharp. Which bank? Mara points across the street without looking. First Lake Federal. Blue sign. I follow her finger. The bank is right there, sun on its windows like it's innocent. I shove the docket into my jacket, and we cross the street. At the bank door, a security guard's eyes track June like he recognizes trouble. Then my phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. Stop digging. First Lake Federal smells like carpet cleaner and quiet judgment. June marches us into an office with a banker named Karen Patel. Her smile is professional, her eyes are not. June says, we need to know if a minor was made to sign anything here on June 4th, 2018. Name, Margaret Vale. Karen starts with the script. I can't discuss customer information. June doesn't blink. Then tell me if fraud was reported, or if a child's signature was used. Karen looks at Mara's bruise. Looks at my uniform pants like I brought the night shift with me. Her voice lowers a notch. Do you have ID for Margaret Vale? Mara shakes her head. I never existed on paper. Karen exhales like she's deciding how much trouble she can live with. Without a subpoena, I can't print anything. I'm not asking you to print, June says. Just confirm whether it happened. Karen taps her keyboard, then pauses. On June 4th, 2018, a custodial account was opened for a minor under the name Margaret Vale. She glances up. Custodian, Victor Hawthorne. Mara makes a small, broken sound. Karen continues, careful. That same day, a safe deposit box was rented under Hawthorne Holdings. It's been accessed regularly. June's eyes narrow. When was the last access? Karen's face tightens. Yesterday. My spine goes cold. Signed by who? Karen hesitates, then says it anyway. Diane Hawthorne. Mara shakes her head violently. No, Mom wasn't here. She didn't leave the house. June leans back slowly. So either he dragged her in, or he signed her name. Karen's smile disappears. If you believe there's forgery, you should contact authorities. Outside, the winter air hits like a slap. Mara grips my sleeve. He told me it was a signature for insurance, she whispers. I didn't know it was an account. June's voice is soft, but furious. That money was meant for you kids. I think of the sealed court order, the guardianship petition, Victor's text. It isn't just control, it's hiding assets, using names, moving money. How much? I ask. June meets my eyes. Enough that he's willing to destroy your mother to keep it. My phone buzzes with a block number voicemail, and my hands start shaking. Back at June's, I play the block number voicemail on speaker. Victor's voice fills the kitchen, smooth, warm, practiced. Andrew, I hear you've been spending your morning in places that aren't your business. June mutters. Oh, he's nervous. Victor continues. Come by the house tonight. We'll talk like family. Bring Mara. Mara's shoulders jump at her own name. Then Victor adds, softer. If you don't, Diane is going to get very overwhelmed. You know how she gets. It's a threat dressed as concern. June clicks the phone off. He wants you under his roof, she says. That's where he controls the story. Mara sits at the table like her bones forget how. He'll hurt Mom, she whispers. You don't know that. I say, but even I hear the lie. Mara finally tells me her version. Real, messy, not heroic. After she leaves, Victor finds her within a week. Not by accident. Someone from his office shows up at her job with a message. Victor offers money if she stays away, so Mom won't spiral. He hands Mara $2,000 cash and a prepaid phone, and says she can either take it or watch Mom fall apart. I hated you both, Mara admits, eyes shining. So I took it. I called it revenge. June's face doesn't soften, but it steadies. And Margaret Vale? He said my real name complicated paperwork, Mara says. He said this was how business worked. I remember the bank date, June 4th, 2018. The sealed court entry. The alias on her wristband like a brand. I came back because he stopped paying, Mara says, then swallows. And because I stole something from his office. Something that proves it's bigger than me. She pulls a folded photocopy from her coat and flattens it on the table. A check. Payee, Dr. Samuel Keene. Amount, $15,000. Date, January 15th, 2026. Memo, evaluation plus signatures. My pulse thumps in my ears. He's paying the same name on Mom's petition. Mara nods. He paid him before, too. I saw older copies. June's voice goes flat. That doctor isn't a doctor. He's a pen for hire. Mara's fingers shake as she digs into her tote again. There's one more thing. She slides out an old glossy photo, edges worn from being handled too many times. Victor stands beside my father, smiling, his hand resting on Dad's shoulder like ownership. We're still staring at the photo when June's doorbell rings, long, impatient, like someone owns the wiring. June peeks through the curtain and swears. He's here. Mara bolts up. No. Back room, June orders. Now. Mara vanishes down the hall with her tote. June slides the shoebox under the sink, wipes her hands like she can erase panic. I open the door before the bell can scream again. Victor stands there in a wool coat and a calm smile, holding a pastry box. His eyes sweep past me, searching. Andrew, he says warmly. June. I came to check on Diane's children. June doesn't move aside. Diane's children are fine. Victor steps in anyway, because he always does. I heard Mara is unwell. You hit her, June says flatly. Victor's smile doesn't drop. June, don't be dramatic. He turns to me, voice lowering into that minter tone he used when I was younger and easier to control. You work in emergency services. You understand liability. If Diane is slipping, someone must step in. My mother isn't slipping, I say. Victor sighs like I'm exhausting him. Then why did her doctor sign a statement? Dr. Keene. The name lands heavy. June snaps. Because you paid him. Victor's eyes flick to her, amused. Careful. Accusations can become expensive. My phone buzzes. A work email notification. I glance down and my stomach drops. Subject line, admin review, report required. That's the email you get before you're pulled off the schedule. Victor watches my face like he's reading an EKG. Ah, he murmurs. You saw it. You called my job. I say, rage turning my mouth dry. Victor spreads his hands. I asked a question. An EMT causing a disturbance at a bank looks unstable. I'm protecting my company from harassment. June steps closer, voice shaking with fury. Get out. Victor's smile widens. Gladly. I don't want conflict. I want dinner. 8 o'clock. My house. We talk like family. And if we don't? I ask. Victor's gaze slides toward the hallway, sharp as a hook. Then I'll stop being patient. June's hand grips my forearm, steadying me. Don't let him bait you. Victor sets the pastry box on the table like a flag. He turns, already certain of the ending. Then he tilts his head toward the hallway and calls Mara's name softly. The second Victor leaves, June locks the door and faces me like a commander. He wants dinner because he wants you quiet, she says. So we show up loud. I stare at the admin email on my phone. If he pulls my license into this. June cuts me off. He'll pull your mother into a cage if you blink. Mara steps out of the back room, eyes red but steady. I'll go, she says. I'll make him talk. No, I snap. He hit you. Mara's mouth twists. He'll hit Mom worse. June spreads our paper trail across the table, the sealed docket summary, the $4,500 transfer to him. Vale, the check to Dr. Keene, the guardianship petition. Tomorrow morning, she says. Hearing. Fast track. My stomach flips. Tomorrow. June nods. That sealed date wasn't decoration. I think of Karen Patel's words. Safe deposit box accessed yesterday. Signed as Diane Hawthorne. If Mom wasn't there, that's forgery. If Victor forged her name once, he forged it 100 times. We need him admitting it, I say. On record. June points at Mara's burner phone. Can it record? Mara nods. Everything. So we plan like I plan an emergency scene. Short steps. No hero fantasies. June drafts an objection to file at opening. Mara texts Mom something harmless. Coffee, a hug, anything. And Mom replies instantly. No, don't. Fear, in writing. And I do the part that makes my skin crawl. I text Victor back. 8 works. We'll be there. June watches me hit send. Now we make him talk, she says. We bring his own words to court. Mara clips the phone inside her coat pocket, mic facing out. June whispers the questions we need answered. Box access, Keen, the alias, like prayers. That night, we drive to Victor's gated driveway. The mansion glows like a magazine spread, warm lights spilling onto perfect snow. The front door opens before we even reach it. Victor stands there in his calm smile, arms open like a savior, and my mother is beside him. Mom stands beside Victor, smiling like she doesn't recognize me. Victor's house is staged like a magazine. Candles, music, a table set for family. Mom hugs me. Her eyes are glassy. Andrew, honey, she says, like she's repeating a line. Victor pours wine I won't drink and smiles. Let's keep this peaceful, he says, hand resting on Mom's shoulder a little too long. June sits after Victor sits. Mara stays standing near the hallway, fingers pressed to her coat pocket where the burner records. Victor calls guardianship temporary and says he's protecting Mom from outsiders. I slide the docket summary across the table. Why is Dad's asset order sealed? Victor doesn't touch the paper. Because adult matters don't belong in children's hands. Adult matters like the custodial account you opened for Margaret Vale? June fires back. Victor's eyes flick to Mara. Then the smile returns. Mara, thank God. Mara's voice shakes. Stop pretending. I place the photocopy check down. Dr. Samuel Keen. Who is he? Victor's smile tightens. A physician. The same physician who witnessed Dad's will. June says, dropping the photo of Victor with my father onto the table. Mom's gaze sticks to the photo. Her brow furrows. Robert. Victor's voice turns syrupy. Diane, sweetheart, don't overwhelm yourself. Mara says you paid her to disappear. I say. You used an alias. You moved money. Victor finally snaps, just for a second. You think you understand? His voice sharpens. Your father left debts you never heard about. If the trust went through clean, creditors would have eaten it. Diane would have lost the house. So you forged a will? June says. I protected this family, Victor says, cold now. I moved assets where they couldn't be seized. By putting it in my sister's fake name? I ask. Victor's eyes burn. By using the only one irresponsible enough to vanish. June stands. We're going to court in the morning. Victor stands too, calm returning like a switch. Court. He smiles at Mom. Diane already agreed. My stomach drops. Agreed to what? Victor pulls a folder from beside his plate and slides it toward me, like a gift. Every page shows my mother's shaky signature beside Victor's printed name. We don't sleep. June files an objection the second the clerk window opens. Mara and I sit in the courthouse hallway with the burner phone in my pocket. It's recording like a heartbeat. Mom arrives with Victor beside her, dressed like nothing is wrong. Her eyes are still too shiny. When she sees me, she blinks like I'm a stranger. Andrew, why are you here? She asks. Victor answers for her. He's worried, sweetheart. He's emotional. June steps in, voice firm. Diane, he's trying to take your rights. In court, Victor plays the concerned husband. He talks about memory issues and hands the judge the folder of signed consents like it's proof of love. June stands. Those signatures were coerced, and we have evidence of forgery. The judge's gaze sharpens. Evidence. June submits what we have. The $4,500 transfer to him, Vale, the $15,000 check to Dr. Samuel Keen, and the docket summary showing a sealed asset order tied to my father's estate. The judge looks at Victor and asks, why is an alias tied to family funds relevant to a guardianship petition? Victor's smile wobbles. Business matters. Separate. The judge isn't impressed. Not if they intersect with control of assets. Mom whispers, confused. Victor said it was just paperwork. The judge orders a neutral evaluation and freezes any major asset changes pending review. It isn't a full win, but it stops the trap from snapping shut. Outside the courtroom, Victor corners me near the vending machines, voice low. You think you saved her? You just ruined her. I force my hands to stay still. You ruined her. My phone buzzes. A work email lands like a punch. Admin leave, effective immediately. Victor notices my face and smiles, ugly now. Consequences, he murmurs. Mara grips my arm. Play it, she whispers. End this. June nods once, before he buys his way out. Then the bailiff calls my name back into the courtroom, and the judge looks straight at me. Mr. Ellis, she says. Do you have proof beyond paperwork today? I play the recording. My voice sounds steadier than I feel, asking Victor about the safe deposit box access, the alias, Dr. Keene. Victor's voice answers, smooth, careless, until he realizes he's admitting too much. Diane signed what I needed, he says on the audio. If she won't, I'll sign it for her. That's marriage. The courtroom goes quiet in the way it does right before a siren turns on. The judge doesn't give a speech. She looks at Victor and says, "We are pausing this matter and referring these documents for review." Victor tries, "This is a family misunderstanding." The judge replies, "Forgery is not a misunderstanding." That afternoon, the bank calls June, not friendly now, but compliance. "We're opening an internal investigation," the caller says. "We'll need sworn statements." Victor doesn't get dragged out in cuffs, but his charm starts failing in the places that used to protect him. Mom moves into June's spare room that night. She keeps asking, "Did I really sign that?" Like she's trying to remember a bad dream. June puts her on a routine: meals, walks, no paperwork, no Victor calls. Mara sleeps on the couch like a kid after a nightmare. In the morning, she whispers, "I'm sorry," and I believe she means it, but meaning it isn't enough. "I'm not covering for you," I tell her. "Not with lies. Not with secrecy." She nods. "Tell me what to do." So we write boundaries down like a contract. Mara gets 30 days here, no contact with Victor, and therapy appointments scheduled before she job hunts. She signs a statement about the bank trip date, June 4th, 2018, because facts matter. Mom agrees to meet a neutral doctor that June chooses. And me? I fight the bank harassment complaint with timestamps and the bank's own access log, because my job is the only steady ground I have left. It takes every ounce of pride I own. Then, 3 days later, a certified letter arrives in June's mailbox, heavy and official. The return address is Hawthorne Holdings, and it's addressed to me. I don't open the letter alone. June makes coffee like it's a ritual. Mara sits beside Mom on the couch, hands folded. Mom looks clearer now, still shaken, but present. When she sees the Hawthorne Holdings logo, her jaw tightens like she's finally choosing herself. The letter is a lawyer threat and corporate perfume: cease and desist, defamation, interference with business relationships. Victor wants me scared enough to shut up again. For the first time in my life, I don't. June laughs, loud and mean. Good. Put it with the rest of his lies. We keep moving. The bank's compliance team requests footage and signatures. The court orders a neutral evaluation for Mom, and the evaluator puts it plainly: Diane isn't incompetent. She's been pressured, isolated, and coached. The guardianship case doesn't vanish overnight, but it stops being Victor's private shortcut. Victor stops calling when June sends one message back. All communication in writing. Abusers hate paper trails. My job doesn't magically forgive me, either. I sit through an admin interview, hand over timestamps, and let the bank's access log do what my voice alone can't. 2 weeks later, I'm back on the schedule, exhausted but employed. Mara starts over in small, uncinematic ways. She changes her number. She deletes the burner. She signs her real name on therapy forms and cries afterward because it feels like reappearing. Some days she's furious at Victor. Some days she's furious at herself. Both are true. Mom starts saying Victor again, slowly, like practicing a word she was punished for. The first time she says it without flinching, June squeezes her hand, and I nearly break. Here's what I learn. Family secrets don't stay secret. They just pick a new victim. And keeping the peace is often code for letting the loudest person win. If you're living inside a story where someone controls the narrative, stop trying to argue your way out of it. Document it. Save the dates. Keep the receipts. Tell one grounded person who isn't scared of the truth. And the next time someone tells you to stay quiet, ask who benefits.